Before getting into the topic, let's make a few things clear. First, India has been very late to engage with Taliban in Afghanistan. As early as 2017, it was apparent that America is going to pull out of Afghanistan as soon as possible. Although most countries expected them to keep maintaining the already established institutions, instead of just pulling the rug and letting Taliban go haywire, Indian diplomats should have known better. Second is that things will eventually stabilize in Afghanistan as long as America keeps the money flowing and countries like India keep supporting the existing government militarily. Even if the money from America stops, India has enough wiggle room or leverage to keep the mess away from their homeland. Third is that India's objectives in Afghanistan should not be of nation building. India at this juncture neither has the capacity nor will it have the capability in future to sustain such a mission. What it needs to do in Afghanistan, at least in short term, is to keep the mess away from Indian borders and woo the factions in Taliban that aren't under the influence of Pakistan. Now that we have these things cleared, let's ponder on two things India has to do to deal with the Afghan mess. First is that India has to keep backing the Afghan army with weapons, ammunition, training, and equipment to keep some sort of stability in the region. Letting all of Afghanistan go into the hands of Taliban, a terrorist organization which is famous for its 14th century mindset, will create even more problems for its neighbors. The best case scenario for Afghanistan and its neighbors is to have a power sharing deal between Taliban and the Afghan government. And for that to happen, India has to keep the Afghan government relevant by any means possible. By doing this, India can also make sure that these Talibani terrorists, along with other Pakistan backed terror outfits like Lashkar-e-Taiba, are busy fighting in Afghanistan instead of creating problems in Indian border states. Second thing India has to do is to engage with Taliban as much as possible. An Afghan future without Talibani involvement is not a reality anymore. And since that is the case, India has to deal with Taliban. What most of us get wrong about Taliban is that we assume it as a monolithic outfit, but the reality is quite the opposite. Taliban has numerous factions with their own independent ambitions. While most of them are under the influence of Pakistan, India can find fault lines and attract the factions to be pro-India. Now the question is that if America and Russia could not find the fault lines, how can we? Well, the answer is quite pragmatic. Taliban and common Afghanis know that India will not be an invading force. What India also has in Afghanistan is the goodwill created by investments done by the Indian government. Every Talibani knows that if it wants to keep the power in any form in Afghanistan, it has to bring some sort of economic wealth in the country. And the neighbor that can provide that economic wealth and trading route is India. India, through its Chabahar port, can very easily trade with Afghanistan, reducing its dependence on Pakistan and letting Taliban be more self-reliant. In conclusion, India's main objectives should be to first keep Taliban away from homeland by backing opposing force and then reduce Pakistani influence on them so that they can choose a future of their own.